see what's next.
A classic tale of love and corpses. Nekromantik, 1987, directed by Jörg Buttgereit, written by him and Franz Rodenkirchen, stars Bernd, Daktari, Lorenz, Beatrice, Manowski, and Harald, Lundt. It's German, subtitled, 1 hour and 11 minutes. Link in the show notes for an Amazon affiliate link.
And I've heard of European nasties. I'd never actually seen one before.
The video nasties?
Yeah, video nasties. I'd heard the expression and the genre, and yeah.
And here we are.
And this was the first I'd seen. Yeah, that was something.
Well, I think the majority of the shocker movies we've reviewed over the past 2 months probably qualify as the video nasties. Serbian film, grotesque, bunny game, those kind of things. They're all that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of the why we've been watching them. Make a little series on these.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Well, I kind of did.
It's kind of dumb. It's kind of cheap, but I kind of liked it too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do low budget, this is the way to do low budget.
It wasn't a complicated story. Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a real simple story. Well, a couple are driving down the road and they run into a train. We see their mutilated corpses as the credits roll. They're a mess.
And along comes the cleanup crew.
A crew of guys come and pick up the pieces and parts and stuff them into body bags. These body bags look like they're hefties.
Yeah, they did.
They work for Joe's street cleaning agency, and it's their job to clear the corpses off the road. One of the men, Rob, steals an eyeball and a heart and takes them home for his collection of body parts.
Takes a few mementos from his work.
Yeah.
He
has dozens of jars of souvenirs that he's brought home in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Rob then watches a TV show about people facing their fears to cure phobias. Rob then flashes back to a time when he watched someone graphically kill and skin a rabbit. And then we see his own dissections in medical school.
And the rabbit killing and skinning is real.
Yeah, that's real.
They can't use the no animals were harmed in the making of this film.
Not in this one, no.
At the end of this one? No.
Well, I mean, it's, it's as humane as skin on a rabbit can get, but it's,
Yeah, they cut its throat. They cut its throat, didn't they?
Yeah. It's a little more graphic than you see on Life Below Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we switch back and forth between the rabbit and the medical cadaver several times as each one is cut apart. We then change scenes to a tall guy picking apples in his backyard and his neighbor playing with a gun. Both of these actors are atrocious. The neighbor then shoots the gun and the apple guy is dead. He picks up the dead man, puts him in a wheelbarrow, and calls Joe's cleaning service for pickup. By the time he gets there, he's not much more than a skeleton. I think some time must have passed.
Some time passed, yeah.
Rob takes the body home with him. The whole thing.
Yeah.
His wife Betty helps him unwrap the body. She likes that body. He then saws off a metal rod and uses it to construct a penis for it. Made of iron.
And they proceed to
And
have
she promptly
sex.
hops on top of it and makes passionate, sticky, slimy sex with it.
And
No, wait, I spoke too soon. Rob gets involved and then they have a three-way.
It's a three-way. Yes. And it's graphic. And it's
It
gross.
Sure is.
Wow.
Later, Betty lays with the corpse and reads to it from a romance novel. They're kind of bonding
She's
now.
kind of bonded and developed feelings for her little guy, her new little friend.
Meanwhile, back at Joe's, they decide Rob isn't working out and they fire him. Betty is now mad as their current corpse isn't going to last forever. She leaves Rob and takes her friend with her, her new friend. Rob then buys a cat. He feeds the cat human organs and then kills it. He then cuts the cat open and rubs its guts all over himself.
Yeah, the poor guy from that point on, he's just dealing with the loss of his girl and loss of his job and loss of purpose, and kind of feel sorry for him.
Rob then goes out to a slasher movie and watches in boredom as the girl on screen is raped and murdered on screen.
Yeah, it's just not the same as the real thing.
He leaves in the middle since it disturbs him so much.
Well, I don't think it really
You're
disturbed
right,
him.
bored.
I think he was bored.
Yeah.
It wasn't the
Not as
same
good
as
as
the
the real
hands-on
thing.
with his girl and And yeah.
Yeah. He goes home, takes a pill, and dreams of a corpse playing catch with a severed head. Not being able to handle it anymore, Rob goes out and picks up a hooker. They drive to the cemetery and have sex on a tombstone in the fog. He can't do it, and she laughs at him. He then kills her. Aha, that's better.
Mm-hmm.
Once she's dead, he's able to finish, and he goes to sleep next to her body until the caretaker finds him the next morning. The caretaker gets half his head removed with a shovel. Rob goes home, picks up a knife, and then stabs himself. It's the best sex he's ever had.
While masturbating.
He
ejaculates violently as he plunges the knife into his stomach. Yeah. Like I said, it's graphic in gore and sex.
As he bleeds out, we see the rabbit scene from the beginning, running in reverse as the skin and blood go back into the rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Time passes.
His final fantasy.
And we get a close-up of Rob's grave. Betty comes by with a shovel. Hey, she's interested in him again.
That's where it ends, with her starting to dig.
Well, that was something. IMDb
Classic of horror.
States that the director said in an interview that he never intended to be a director, and Nekromantik was just a film to rebel against the German film rating system, trying to shock as many people as possible. You think he shocked some people with this one?
Probably.
In the 80s?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, probably.
And you can see that here as it goes from bad to worse in the shock department,
mm-hmm.
with a little bit of a story going on between the shocker scenes. There's even mention in one of the TV shows that Rob watches about video nasties, of which this film is certainly included.
How'd you like the soundtrack, too? That romantic piano music.
Getting to that.
Pounding, violent pounding romantic music.
There are multiple shots of people peeing that I noticed.
Oh, yeah, that was a common theme.
No genitals, just streams of water going
mm-hmm.
in the toilet or in the
mm-hmm.
field. Somebody out there thought that was very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Just splashing on the ground.
Folks are into that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get the corpse sex, but just watching people pee, I don't get that one.
Different strokes for different folks.
Okay.
Yeah.
The film quality and the shooting style constantly reminded me of 1980s European music videos. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't have surprised me at any time for the street cleaners to have broken out in a song and dance number, but unfortunately that never happened. Lack of singing aside, the music in the film is quite good, with long shots of necrophilia and running through the countryside, intertwined with some excellent music. I like the music. You're kind of making fun of it.
It was kind of, yeah.
Over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
There are long segments where Rob is alone with no dialogue, and obviously, since dialogue is at a minimum, the music is very noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
The film is kind of hard to classify. It had good gore, and it was shocking. There was, in fact, a story, but most of it was just an excuse to show sexy dead things. Overall, I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10 on this one.
Yeah, I think I probably would, too.
Yeah. There is a Nekromantik 2.
Yeah.
That I'll bet wasn't this good. I haven't seen it, but I'll bet it wasn't as good.
I bet it wasn't.
One way to find out.
I bet they're trying too hard on the second one.
Very likely.
Yeah, but we should try it and see. Yeah. And that's our show. Stop in during the week to the website, horrorguys.com. Check us out on social media, or tune into the full-length audio podcast.
Yes, everything here, our weekly show is done as a full-length, around an hour audio podcast each week,
where we talk about all the movies. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps us out. Give some likes and subscribes.
Yep. And horrorguys.com has, of course, all our reviews in writing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to read more, sometimes we'll forget the line here or there. So if you want to read them, check out horrorguys.com.
Yeah.
And I'm Brian.
I'm Kevin.
And we'll see you at the next movie.
See ya.